Hi, welcome to episode 56 of the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry, and on Flirk and Instagram, I'm Mel-Tran Designs. There's also my website, meltrandesigns.com, where all of my episodes are posted, and there is a group on Ravelry that you can join where my episodes are posted in any threads talking about anything we're doing. And there's also a Facebook group, Mel-Tran Designs. There's not a lot posted on there, but I do post when I upload a new episode, and I'll post like if I release a new pattern or things like that. So anyways, welcome. Today is August 26th, 2014. It's a Tuesday. And welcome to any new viewers, and welcome back to any returning viewers. It's been a couple weeks since I recorded. I guess it's been about 3 weeks. We've been, I'll just go into weeks in review. Belle, stop. Belle, she's smelling the baby. We've been getting back in the swing of things. The kids went back to school a couple weeks ago, so it's been just kind of, settling into a routine and all that kind of stuff, and the day just kind of gets away from me. So anyways, but I've been thinking of you all, and of course the dog had to mess with her, so hopefully she doesn't wake up. Anyways, I don't have a ton of time to record. I'll have to do lunch for Eli here pretty soon. So anyway, I hope you all have had a good couple of weeks, and I hope your summer is wrapping up nicely. I think for the most part kids are back in school. I guess there are some schools that wait until after Labor Day, but not around here. So let me think. Nothing really has happened. Like I said, just kids going back to school, and just that. Jake was gone all last week. He was down in Utah, and so I was a single parent for a week, which wasn't horrible. It could have been worse. It definitely could have been worse. Other times when he's gone, I'm going to turn the light down on it. Other times when he's been gone, it's been much harder. The kids being older are a little easier to deal with. So, yeah, that's really it. Quinn last week started something new. She talks. Well, you know what I mean. When you can be holding her, have her laying on the floor, so you can look at her, and she just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks, and it is the cutest thing ever. And I am going to put a video at the end. It's a little over a minute long, and if you don't want to watch it, I won't be offended, but it's one that I caught this morning of her talking to Eli. So, shameless showing off baby, and like I said, if you don't want to watch it, don't, but I'm still going to put it in there because I can, because it's my podcast. So anyways, she's now a little over 2.5 months old. Well, about 2.5 months old, I guess. So anyway, oh, well, Anansi's birthday was yesterday. I was going to say, I know there was something else. Anansi's birthday was yesterday. She's 11. So that was fun. We had a great time. There's an FO missing from my pile of stuff because she has it at school. It's her birthday fox. I will put pictures at the end so that way you can see what it looks like. It's also in my project pages. It's Anansi's birthday fox, I think I called it. So, my kids always, well, if you've been watching, you know that my kids get to pick birthday monsters or animals or whatever, and she picked a fox because she's rather obsessed with foxes right now. And anyway, so I'll talk about that pattern in FOs just because I do have a little bit of feedback on it. So that's really all I can think of. Yeah, it was fun for her birthday because it's also not to take away from her birthday at all, to make it any less special like about her or anything, but to me it's really special because that's the day I became a mom. So we celebrate her birthday, and I also celebrate, the anniversary of the day I was a mommy. And that's a big deal. That definitely sets her apart from the others. It makes her special in a different way because she gave me that title. A title that I love and a title that I always wanted and planned on having, and so I'm very, very happy about that. So anyways, okay, moving on. Happenings this week. Sorry, I don't have any notes. Moves on to, stuff going on. Going on, coming up. I'm like, what did I call it? Going on / coming up. There we go. Going on continues to be the year of the Q knit along. If any of you are new, all that has been Q as in your Ravelry Q. I have been knitting exclusively with an asterisk next to it from a Q that I solidified by December 31st of last year. The asterisk is there because I didn't know that we were having a girl, so I did add a couple of baby things, and then I did grab a couple of random baby patterns and make those like a sun hat and something else. I don't remember what it was. And then I've made an exception for a couple of crocheted patterns, mainly because I'm not a crocheter, and I kind of got the bug to do a little bit of crocheting, and I don't feel like I'm very good at it, and so I figured, you know what, I'm expanding my abilities, so I decided to allow that as a bit of an exception. Plus I can, because it's kind of my thing. If I want to, I can, but really I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. I made those couple of exceptions that I think are good reasons to make exceptions. And of course designing doesn't count as something off my queue because it couldn't have been in my queue. So anyway, so that's going on. It really has been fun to see it. People haven't really posted recently, and I don't think I've even posted mine. I need to go back and do that. If you have something that you knit out of your queue, post it. It's not a prize thread. It's not anything fancy. It's just a place to put your projects in that you've knit from your queue. So anyway, it's been fun to see what people came up with, and a lot of them even would post when they queued it, which I didn't do. And once you queue something, it's out, or once you click on Start Project out of your queue, it removes it from that, and so you can't go back and look. So anyway, so that's been fun. Go ahead and jump in on that if you want to. We still have a few months left in the year, so it's not too late to get some stuff out of your queue that you loved so much you put over there. Then, is there anything else actively going on? I don't think so. We did start an even star knit along. I still have mine on the needles. I haven't worked on it in a little while, but I do have it sitting there. I got a little bit stressed out trying to finish stuff recently, which I'll talk about, but I was like, I just want to work on some of my other things that are, sitting around. My mitered square blanket and the even star and a cape thing that I'm designing and, all that kind of stuff. It just sits there. So, coming up is not a lot as far as like any sort of formal knit-alongs or anything like that. I'm not doing that. I'm participating. Oh, I guess that could be going on. I'm participating in the Head to Toe knit-along for Fiber Nymph, the 90% Knitting podcast. I think it was a very smart knit-along idea. And if you don't watch her, please go over fibernymph.com. She's awesome. It's the first month was July, and it was something for your head. Then this month is for your neck or upper shoulders, like a shawlette or a scarf or, something like that, or any sort of jewelry type things. Next month is hands and arms. And then the last month, which is October, is feet and legs. And then while that's going on, you can also knit a large, like full body item, like a sweater or whatever, and so you can enter into a drawing each of those 4 separate months, and you don't have to have started at the beginning. You can jump in now and put something in for this month. You know, they're kind of like 4 little separate knit-alongs, you know, each month, but one overall theme. And you get, and if I remember, and don't quote me on this, I'm loosely remembering. I think if you enter in, no, you can do the 4 separate, and you can do one whole body item, and all those are separate entries, all 5 of those. But if you do all of them, then she's going to have like a separate drawing for people who did all of them. And I happened to, I didn't even know about the knit along until like the end of July, but luckily I had made a hat that month, so I was able to enter it. And then since I knew about this month, I started one, and then I've had the Magnolia vest in my queue for quite a long time, and it was in my queue for this year, and so I was like, hey, I have the yarn, I have this pattern, I'm totally gonna start. And so I'm going to talk about all in my works of progress, but I wanted to say what's going on for me. You can still jump in. It's fun. There's some chatter going on. It's fun to see what people are doing, you know, things like that. So, but as far as coming up, for me, that's what's coming up, is knitting along the next couple months with that. And also, I have classes coming up. If you happen to live close enough that you want to take classes, I have them pretty much solidified as far as the dates for the dates, not just the dates, but also what projects I'm going to be teaching. So if you do live close enough that you want to be added into my email list or anything like that, just let me know. And there was something else. They're going to be starting in September. I haven't decided if it's going to be the first or second week of September. What do you need, bud?
I don't know.
Do you want to come say hi? Come here, bud.
Hi.
Here's Eli. You want to go watch your show for a little bit? Please?
Yeah.
Okay, go. He's eating pretzels. So, okay, back to what I was saying, sorry. We have the projects mostly figured out. There's one I think that I'm going to swap out just based on the feedback that I've already received and things like that. So if you do live close enough that you would be interested in coming and participating, let me know and I can add you to the email list so you know what's coming up. And I'll be talking about it on here too and stuff like that. The first class will be some socks that are a really fun knit. I have one going on that you'll see, and we're going to do mitts and a couple of sweaters, a couple of shawls. So anyways, there you go. That's going on and coming up for now. I do have kind of some plans for next year that are, you know, canoodling around in my brain, but it's way too early to talk about that. And anyway, it doesn't really matter right now. So yeah. Before I move on to my knitting, I am going to turn this around so you can see the baby. Oh, sorry if you get car sick or motion sick. This usually doesn't bother me, and I do get motion sick. She is right there, sleeping away. So I'll move back. Hey, there's a new desk that we got. There's some acquisitions. Got that this weekend. All right, let's get this put back where it was. Let's use that. Okay, looks good. Okay, works in progress. I'm going to start with the one that I'm working on right now. This is the Magnolia vest. It's a pattern put out by a yarn company. Classic Elite. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. What I like about it is it's just a straightforward vest. There's nothing fancy about it. Ribbing along the waist, plain stockinette, ribbing for the button band. It has a little bit of a bigger collar that kind of folds over. Not huge like the vodka lemonade or anything like that, but enough that if you were to button up the top, you'd get a little bit of a turtleneck, but not big enough of a turtleneck that it would fold over. So what's that called? A mock turtleneck. And then just a little bit of ribbing, you know, around the armholes. So the yarn that I'm using, and I'm going to show it to you in a second, I just have a couple more stitches here. The yarn that I'm using is 716 Knit Boss. It's her DK weight, which really is not a true DK. It's more of a light worsted, which affected my gauge for the pattern. I tried and tried and tried to get gauge, and I just couldn't get it small enough without it being completely bulletproof. So I got a swatch that I liked, or a fabric, you know, that I liked, and figured out that I just needed to drop. If I dropped one size that I was following, that it would work out perfectly, which is nice anyways, because armhole lengths for my size are always too big. So dropping down that size affects the length of the armhole and the shoulder width and all the things that I usually have to fix anyways. So colorway is called Dead Guys on Ice. Here's what it looks like. There's the ribbing down there. It is so gorgeous. It has a faux seam there that's just a couple of purled stitches there. I love this yarn. It is so squishy and just amazing to work with. And I am alternating skeins. I just finished a knit row, so I have a skein coming off of each end. Right now I'll show you what I have left of my first 2 balls, which is not very much. I'm getting low on those. But you can see, well, maybe, hopefully you can see, I'm sure you can. You can see how different they are because they're hand dyed. So I tried to pick I tried to take the 2 that were most alike and pair them with the other 2 that were either the most alike or one of them was like really different, and I think it was this one. But I tried to, you know, not put like ones together, so that way it wouldn't affect the overall look, you know, of the vest, which I don't think it has. And I love that it's just slightly variegated, you know, it just has that little bit. And I love these dark pops of the red that are in there. It's actually red on green, and so it might not look red to you, but it really is. So anyways, I love it. The pattern's easy. The only thing I dislike about it is kind of the format, how it's set up. It's in like paragraph form, so it says start here, and then you have to like read through it, and then next row, and you have to read through it instead of this, then an increase, or you know, then you do the decreasing and have that separate, and then a new line for the, you know, waist increasing. It's just in a paragraph. So I mean, they bolded that stuff, but you still have to kind of look through, which, like I said, it's not really that big of a deal. It's not a huge thing. It just is like, I don't love it. My eyes kind of, you know, are like, you know. So anyways, these are on size 6 needles. They're my ChowGoo fixed circulars. Size 6 is a 4mm. And yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about that. This is in my Knitting's My bag by Lois. I have fiber on here. It was sitting next to some spinning fiber. So anyways, this is her medium bag that's huge and fits a whole sweater. So alright, I'm going to put that away so I don't get stuff tangled up with it. This work in progress is actually almost a half finished object. It's almost a hoe. The knitting is finished. I just have to do the grafting, which I haven't done on garter stitch before, so that's why I haven't done it, because I haven't watched the YouTube video. This is the Exotic Whirlpool sock, and that's what I'm teaching my first class on. It's a garter stitch sock that's knit back and forth with some crazy shaping. Like, here's the heel here sticking out. You can see that. And then here's the toe, and when you graft it together, it kind of brings this over here to make, hold on, let me pull the, set this together here so we can, there we go. So see, you can see that there's toe shaping here, and then this is at an angle, so when that's closed up, there will be the toe, and then the heel, because this is pulled around, then the heel will line up and turn this way and be a heel. The whole thing just like twists. And I know it looks really small, which it is, especially knowing that this is the leg. But because it's garter stitch, the designer says that it's oh, how did she word it? Anyways, there's considerable negative ease because of garter stitch. So you can see that it stretches quite a bit. So anyways, the first one, like I said, the first one's done. I just need to do the grafting because it's not just a regular Kitchener that you do. And the yarn that I'm using is by Fiber Addiction, Emily. She's awesome. This is the BYOB colorway, but the last B is BEE. And it has teal and gray and kind of a goldenrod yellow that I love, 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 love. And let me show you my favorite part on the sock, because there was at one point that the stitch count made it so that there was yellow every other row with the different colors. And I really love how that looks. I wish there was a way to make a whole project look like that, which I know if I got a yellow and got like a variegated, I get that, but anyway, hold on. The baby's, you can probably hear her. Hold on, Queenie, hold on. Give me a second. All right. And in this project, oh, I guess these last two things, I can show you the yarn that I used for Nancy's Fox, which I don't know if I showed that before or not. This is the yarn I used. It's by Kobasi. It's by Haiku. It's Kobasi, which is cotton, bamboo, and silk. And it has some nylon in it too. It's 55% cotton, 16% bamboo, 8% silk, and 21% elastic nylon. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's really neat to work with. It's kind of a small fingering weight, and the nylon, you know, does make it kind of bouncy. You know, kind of, let's see if you can, it's just kind of springy. So I did have to drop down a couple of needle sizes from what it called for, but that's all right. And I have all this left, and a ball like this big of the other. Like I didn't use nearly as much as it called for, so I have that whole skein to either make something with that. That's, oh, the pumpkin colorway. I'm sorry. I'll either make something with that or trade it in at the yarn store for something else. I haven't decided yet. So the next, I'm going to move on. I'm going to combine like 3 different sections here because the next thing I'm working on that has like this much done is in designing. The thing I finished, my 1FO that I do have sitting here is in designing. So I'm just going to kind of talk about designing. I don't have any spinning. I finished like this much of a bit of fiber that had been hanging on my wheel and put a new bobbin on. So there's nothing to show you. So I'm just going to, designing and the rest of this stuff is all going to go together. So I'll just talk. This is a gradient from Fiber Nymph. It's the King's Cross gradient. It was bought at the first SSK. A friend of mine went, and I said, "Hey, grab a couple skeins from Fiber Nymph, and I'll pay him for you. I'll pay you for them." And she says, "Okay," and she got me this, and I like it, but it's not really my colors. I actually really like this outside color. This is some that I use from the inside, so ignore that. But I love this outside. It's more like a black charcoal, you know, semi-solid than a green. And then the other 2 colors are kind of this lighter yellowy green and then more of a darker olive green. It's this yellowy, it's not yellow, but anyways, it's really, really not my color to wear. Let me say that. I like this a lot. And every time she holds it up on her podcast, I'm like, "That's really pretty." And then she says King's Cross. And I'm like, "Oh, duh, I have it." So I just don't wear green, really. And so, but I have a pattern idea that would work with this really well. So I'm going to knit it up out of it anyways and have a beautiful design. So that's what I'm using. Oh, and this is her Sunshine base, which is the 490 yards, which is nice because you get more yardage. And, to get 490 yards, it would have to be a lighter a lighter fingering weight, but it's pretty plump. So, yeah. Anyway, I mean, if you pull it tight, it gets small, but just sitting in its natural, regular form there, it's kinky because I knit with it a little bit and then pulled it out. But, yeah. So I have this much going so far. There's my stitch marker. That's all I have. I just kind of cast it on the other night and then went to bed because I was just so excited to have a couple things off the needles, and I was really anxious to at least just start this. So, and I'm not being secretive on purpose. I'm going to tie it all together. You'll see. This, it's in my 31 zipper pouch. That is the fingering weight version. Oh, and this is Girl Cave Bags. Love her stuff. That's the fingering weight version of this shawl that I designed. It's nothing fancy at all. I did some, just stockinette, and I like the shape. Let's see if I can, there you go. It's actually the same shape as my Diersta shawl, but with a different edging. So what I did, I had 2 skeins of Malabrigo Silky Merino. So I did the increases until I ran out of the first skein, and then finished that row with the second skein, and then did an applied edging. So nothing, like I said, nothing fancy, nothing complicated. I really was just winging it, and that's what I'm calling the design, is my winging it shawl, because I was like, because there was the knit along, and I needed something for the shoulder neck area, and I had this yarn, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna knit until the first skein's done and then throw on an edging. So I'm totally just gonna wing it. I didn't even know what edging I was gonna use. I went through a couple of my pattern dictionary books and I had to look at them sideways though, because you're knitting it like this. And so what I did was I turned the book sideways, because you won't be looking at it like this, you'll be seeing it like this. And some patterns look really good turned on their side, and some patterns, it just totally screws them up. So, yeah, and the reason I kept the name, so many thoughts all coming at the same time. The reason I kept that as the name is because what I'm going to do is have multiple options for the edging. There will be options for how big you make the stockinette section, depending on which edging you choose. You can, do whatever. There will also be, this is a DK weight yarn. Oh, it's 50/50 merino silk. Oh, little sidetrack. I gave this to Anansi for her birthday because she loves light blue. This is their turquoise colorway. She loves light blue, and she's always cold everywhere we go, especially church. And so I thought this would be a good thing for us to take for her to stay warm with. And she loves it. She was actually going to wear it to school this morning and forgot it. She took it off when she went in to brush her teeth, and she set it in the bathroom. Belle, no. Belle. Shh, 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 shh. Belle, Belle. Hush. Lay down. Lay down. No, lay back down. You were taking a nice nap. Lay down. Lay down. So I'm glad she forgot it though, so I can show it to you. Okay, so multiple edgings, multiple stitch count options. There's also going to be, like I said, this is a DK weight, and the other one is fingering weight. So there's going to be a couple of gauge options as well. Yeah, so we will see. I think because the way Ravelry has their pattern database set up, you can't put in multiple yarn weights for the same object, or at least you couldn't for a long time. Hopefully they've changed it. They haven't, as far as I know. Going off of the assumption that they haven't changed that, I will probably post kind of the winging it heavyweight and winging it lightweight just so people so people know that there's two different options, and then kind of do a buy one get one free. Like if you buy the pattern, the heavyweight, you'll get the lightweight for free because it's really just one pattern. But I don't. Anyways, I haven't thought through all the details, so but something like that because it's really just one pattern. But I want people to see it went on two different search. I want it to come up on the search for DK or for fingering. So blah blah blah. All that to say, yay, new pattern that I wasn't even planning on coming up with. It just kind of showed up. Really, I'm just focusing on this vest this week. I want to get as much as I can. Oh, I said that I would talk about being stressed about finishing stuff. I had the fox that I had to finish by yesterday. I finished it Sunday night. And then that shawl has to be done by the 31st, but I was knitting on both of those, and then I knew I was going to be doing the sock for a class. So I was working on that, and then I was starting to get stressed out about the deadlines for everything. Never fear. I got the sock knit. The shawl's done. The fox is done. So both of those for deadlines are done. The next, excuse me. There we go. I had a nasty catch that wouldn't move. The only deadline thing I have coming up next is going to be for next month and all that. So I decided that for this whole week, I get to just knit on the vest. I mean, I might work on something else and I'll graft the sock closed, but I can just work on the vest and get that closer and closer because next month, well, I have a test knit coming up that I'm going to do for a friend of mine, and I want to have that not be a worry. I don't want it to add to pressure. So I'm just going to work on this. And then next Monday, I'm going to cast on. What I'm going to be making will actually be the second project that we're doing for my classes. It's the circle mitts, and they start at the thumb and then go out, which is really cool. I already have the yarn picked out. I haven't balled it up yet, but the yarn's picked out and everything, and it's going to look awesome. So I'm excited about that. So on my next podcast, you'll get to see probably a wee thumb having been started. So, and a whole bunch more done on the vest. I think I have one of these type of stitch markers. I need to get more. They disappeared. I had a whole package of them and they slowly disappeared, but as Wolf Farms calls it, they're dicky doos. And so I will actually put that on right now so that you guys can see how much work I've gotten done. I'm hoping that by next week when I record again, I will have been able to finish almost all of it if I can. I'd like to, but anyways, so there we go. There's the marker, and I guess we'll see what comes of it. So as far as designing that goes, since I'm babbling on about it, there's a couple of ideas that I'm working on. One of them is a shawl that has been in the back of my mind for quite a long time that has been marinating, as I call it, and it just hasn't been time. And a couple weeks ago when Lisa Fiber Nymph was doing her shop update segment of her show, she showed a skein of there we go, of deep blue ice. As soon as I saw it, I knew that that was the yarn for this shawl that's been canoodling in my brain and marinating. And now that I know that there's the perfect color, it's time to start designing, which makes me really excited because it's one that Anansi and I both talked about together, and so she's going to be able to help me on it. And of course I'll let her knit a little bit on it. She doesn't knit much anymore because she has sweaty hands and it affects the yarn, but she will definitely be part of the design process and whatnot. So yeah, there was something else though that I had thought about design wise, and I can't I guess not. Maybe I'm just thinking there was something else. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's all I have for you. And yay, I'm right at about 35 minutes. So I will add a couple pictures. I have some birthday pictures of Anansi with her fox, and I have the fox by itself, and I have that video of Gwen talking to Eli. And so stay tuned for those. No acquisitions. I know that's a segment, but I don't have new stuff. I don't have a need for new stuff right now. I have such pretty stuff that I'm just working on that. And a lot of the things I have planned for like my classes and my future knitting is with yarn that I already have because it's awesome. But I can enable you to buy other people's yarn, right? 716 Knit. She's a big cartel shop. And she's awesome. Anyway, I will talk to you later. I plan on next week. Maybe Mondays will work. I don't really know yet. We'll figure it out. So anyways, until next time, keep knitting. Bye.
Hi. Hi, Gwen. 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 Hi. 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 Hi, Gwen. 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 Hi, Sissy.